You know what? Let me tell you about one of the most explosive confrontations that shook Nigeria to its core. This is a story about two powerful men, Sheikh Ahmad Gumi and former Kaduna State Governor Nasir El-Rufai, who went from being friends to publicly challenging each other over how Nigeria should handle bandits and kidnappers. And trust me, this story will blow your mind. Before we dive in, please hit that like button right now and subscribe to this channel because we're about to serve you the complete gist, no holding back. Turn on your notifications too so you don't miss any updates. Now let's get into it. Picture this. Nigeria, especially the north, was going through serious trouble. Bandits were everywhere. They were kidnapping school children, attacking villages, killing innocent people, and demanding millions in ransom. Families were crying, communities were living in fear, and the government seemed helpless. It was a dark time for our country. Then Sheikh Ahmad Gumi did something that shocked everyone. This respected Islamic scholar from Kaduna started doing something nobody expected. He began visiting bandit camps deep inside the forests. Yes, you heard that right. He was going into the bush, sitting down with these criminals, having conversations with them, and even praying with them. His message was simple but controversial. He said these bandits are mainly Fulani herdsmen who feel neglected and abandoned by the government. Give them education, give them jobs, give them health care, and they will drop their weapons and become good citizens again. He wanted the government to grant them amnesty, just like what was done for militants in the Niger Delta years ago. Now, Governor El-Rufai heard about this and he was not having it, not even a little bit. El-Rufai is known as a strong, tough leader who doesn't play games. His position was crystal clear and he didn't hide it. He said Kaduna State is at war with bandits. Any bandit they catch will be eliminated. No negotiations, no amnesty, no compensation, nothing. If you're a criminal terrorizing innocent people, you will face the full force of the law, period. And here's where it gets really interesting. These two men, Gumi and El-Rufai, were actually friends. They knew each other well. They had shared meals together. But this issue divided them completely, and they weren't afraid to call each other out publicly. If you're enjoying this story so far, make sure you've liked this video. If you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button right now because we bring you stories like this every single time. In February 2021, things exploded. Sheikh Gumi had been making his forest visits, meeting with bandit leaders, and publicly calling on the government to compensate these criminals and give them amnesty. Governor El-Rufai decided enough was enough. He went on BBC Hausa and directly challenged his friend. And let me tell you, he didn't hold back. El-Rufai asked a simple but powerful question. He said, why should we compensate bandits who have killed our people? Who offended them? He then revealed something personal. He said, I told my friend Ahmad Gumi directly that most of these Fulani bandits don't even believe in religion, so I don't believe in what he's doing. I don't support it. But El-Rufai didn't stop there. He broke down the mathematics of the situation, and honestly, his argument made a lot of sense. He said, think about it logically. A Fulani man who used to earn maybe 100,000 naira per year from selling cows has now tasted the sweet life of banditry. He's kidnapping people and collecting millions in ransom. Do you really think such a person will willingly go back to his old life of poverty? Do you think he'll be satisfied earning 100,000 naira again when he's been making millions? It's not going to happen. The governor's logic was hitting hard, and Nigerians were divided. Some people agreed with him completely. Others felt Sheikh Gumi's approach of dialogue and peace was better than continuous violence. Now here's where things got even crazier. During one of Sheikh Gumi's visits to the forest, something shocking happened. A notorious bandit leader called Dogo Gide actually threatened Governor El-Rufai on camera. This criminal said he was going to deal with El-Rufai and launch more attacks on Kaduna communities. Can you imagine? A bandit openly threatening a sitting governor while a respected Islamic scholar sat right there? This incident raised serious questions that Nigerians couldn't ignore. If Sheikh Gumi knew exactly where these bandits were hiding, and if security operatives were escorting him to these locations, why weren't these criminals being arrested? Why were we having tea and biscuits with terrorists instead of putting them in handcuffs? Some people started asking if there was a hidden agenda. Was someone protecting these criminals? Was there more to this story than we were being told? Make sure you're still with me. Drop a comment right now and let me know what you think about this situation. Should we talk to bandits or should we fight them? I want to hear your opinion. And don't forget to like this video and share it with your friends and family. The confrontation between these two men reveals something deeper about Nigeria. It showed that we as a nation are seriously divided on how to handle security challenges. Sheikh Gumi represented one side, the people who believe that violence only creates more violence. They argue that if we address the root problems like poverty, lack of education, unemployment, and marginalization, then people won't turn to crime in the first place. They point to examples around the world where dialogue and reconciliation worked better than military force. Governor El-Rufai represented the other side, the people who believe that crime must be met with punishment. They argue that rewarding criminals with amnesty and money will only encourage more people to pick up guns and start terrorizing communities. They say if bandits know they can kill, kidnap, and destroy, and then get paid and forgiven at the end, then everyone will become a bandit. Where is the justice for the victims? Where is the justice for families who lost their loved ones? But there was another uncomfortable issue that many people were whispering about but afraid to say out loud: the tribal question. Critics started accusing Sheikh Gumi of showing favoritism towards Fulani bandits because of shared ethnicity. They asked why his compassion and calls for dialogue seemed to focus mainly on Fulani criminals. What about other criminal groups across Nigeria? Would he show them the same sympathy? These were hard questions that made many Nigerians uncomfortable, but they needed to be asked. There was also the question of who's really in charge. When a private citizen is negotiating with terrorists while government policy is to eliminate them, doesn't that undermine the authority of the state? Doesn't it send a message that the government is weak and can be bypassed? These weren't just academic debates. Real lives were at stake. Communities were watching, bandits were listening, and everyone was confused about what the official position actually was. Years have passed since that heated confrontation, but the issues haven't gone away. El-Rufai has finished his time as Kaduna governor, but the bandits are still operating. The kidnappings still happen, the killings continue. Sheikh Gumi is still advocating for dialogue, though he now faces more scrutiny from security agencies. Just recently, he made headlines again, claiming that foreign powers were plotting against him because of his criticism of certain military operations in Nigeria. Before we wrap this up, I need you to do something for me. Hit that like button if you've learned something new today. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, because we're bringing you more content like this. Share this video with at least 3 people who need to hear this story. Now, let me ask you the most important question. What do you think Nigeria should do? Should we follow Sheikh Gumi's path of dialogue, forgiveness, and trying to rehabilitate these criminals? Or should we follow El-Rufai's approach of using maximum force to crush them completely? Think about it carefully. If we choose dialogue and amnesty, are we being wise peacemakers, or are we rewarding evil? If we choose pure military force, are we being strong leaders, or are we creating more enemies and continuing a cycle of violence that will never end? And here's an even harder question. How do we give justice to the victims while also finding lasting peace? Can we afford to pay compensation to people who have destroyed our communities, or is that the painful price we must pay to stop the bloodshed? Is there a middle ground that everyone can accept? I want to hear from you. Drop your thoughts in the comment section right now. Let's have a real conversation about the future of security in Nigeria. Be respectful to each other even if you disagree, because that's how we grow as a nation. If this video opened your eyes to something new, give it a big thumbs up. Share it on all your social media platforms, subscribe to this channel, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss our updates. We're here to keep you informed, educated, and engaged with the real stories affecting our country. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, stay informed, stay safe, and keep supporting this channel. God bless you, and God bless Nigeria.